Hey you all, welcome to Confessions of a Seven-Figure Entrepreneur with your host, Emma Churchman. I'm delighted as always to be here with you and sharing with you insights from my own business and my own awarenesses around growing a seven-figure business. And tonight I want to talk about how to hold space for clients when they've got stuff coming up in their lives or their businesses. If you're a coach for them, if you've got stuff going on for yourself that hits really close to home. And I've had a couple of clients in the past week bring up stuff with me that feels close to home for me. So I had one client struggling with receiving more in her business. I have another client, actually a couple clients who are feeling stuck around sales right now. Hey, Curtis, welcome. Hey, Christina, welcome. And so I wanted to talk about that because especially when you're a coach, what's going to happen is you're going to be in this pattern of attracting clients to you who are going through things that are similar to you that maybe you've gone through in the past couple of years. Maybe you've gone through like 5 minutes ago and you want to be able to hold space for them and help them through whatever they're going through. Larry just joined. Hey, Larry. I wanted to share a story with you all that was really poignant for me that Larry actually knows about that happened for me several years ago when I was working as a trauma chaplain in an emergency room and an ICU. And I had this experience where often in the role of chaplain, I would be asked to go into private rooms with families and talk about what was going on with their loved ones, with the patients either in the ER or in the ICU. Hey, Renee, welcome. And I would be asked to kind of bear witness to whatever surgeon or doctor was speaking with the family and hold space for that doctor or surgeon, but also hold space for the family and to really be there as a source of support for whatever was going on. So generally it looked like this. Whenever a doctor or a surgeon had some challenging news that they needed to share with a family member about an ICU patient, an ER patient who is really on the brink of death or having some kind of traumatic injury, and the family needed to be informed about that or needed to make a decision about it, they would call me, the chaplain, into the room to be there as a calming presence, as someone who could pray with the family if that was needed. And I was just a couple of months into working at this hospital, and the trauma surgeons and the neurosurgeons especially were still trying to get used to me being around the ER and the ICU all the time. And most of them were Southern Baptist, and they didn't quite know what to do with me because they knew I wasn't Southern Baptist, because in the Southern Baptist tradition, women cannot be ministers. So they knew I wasn't Southern Baptist, but they didn't quite know what I was or what I believed. And very Southern, very polite, never asked. So we had this kind of cordial relationship where they knew that they wanted to call me in anytime there was an uncomfortable situation with the family that they needed to talk about. But also, we weren't particularly close. Like, surgeons, for the most part, do their own thing. They love to have the chaplain there to pick up the pieces when the family falls apart. But surgeons don't really want to have a lot to do with chaplains outside of that. I realize I'm generalizing, but totally true in the 2 hospitals I worked at. All right, so a neurosurgeon, a male neurosurgeon, a female trauma surgeon, and I meet with the wife of a patient in a family room off of the ICU. And we're preparing to have the conversation with the wife about the fact that her husband is brain dead, right? So we walk into the room and there's me in my street clothes with my name tag and the neurosurgeon and the trauma surgeon both in their scrubs with their white coats. And the wife comes in, she's seen me around the ICU, she knows that I'm the chaplain, she walks in and she immediately knows that this has got to be a horrible conversation. If the chaplain has been brought in to give news about her husband, the news is not going to be good. So what happens is the wife immediately starts screaming at me, saying, "Why are you in the room? I don't want you in the room. You shouldn't be there. Be here." Even before the neurosurgeon and trauma surgeon tell the wife that her husband is brain dead. she starts acting out and really pointing all of this aggression towards me. Like the wife is, hey, Rashida, the wife is freaking out, right? Because the chaplain's in the room and she knows there's going to be bad news about her husband and she does not want to hear the bad news. And somehow she's able to direct all of her anger and frustration and angst and fear about the whole situation. She directs it at me, the chaplain, rather than the neurosurgeon or the trauma surgeon, because I'm the safe target, right? And the neurosurgeon and the trauma surgeon are just kind of looking at me and looking at the wife like, holy crap, what is going on? And I had this moment, and this was a pivotal moment for me in my life, and has also become a pivotal moment for me in how I show up as business coach. This wife was freaking out, not even yet knowing the news that her husband was brain dead, really getting upset with me. And I had this moment of going from feeling fear myself to realizing that what she was going through was her journey, and that the only thing that she knew how to do was get upset with me as the chaplain, because I was the safe person. So I let her get as upset as she needed to. The neurosurgeon and trauma surgeon were finally able to tell her that her husband was brain dead. She stormed out of the ICU. She left the hospital. She refused to come back. Hey, Curtis, thank you for that feedback. But I didn't take it personally. Like, that was the learning for me. I knew that she was upset. I knew that it wasn't about me. And I just loved her. I just held sacred space. And it was a transformational moment for me, because so often as coaches, certainly as the chaplain, but as coaches, our clients will get frustrated, they'll get angry, things won't work. It's easy for them to direct frustration towards us. It's easy for them to get angry at us. It's easy for us to think maybe it's about how we are or are not showing up as coaches. But I got to tell you, the most powerful thing that I have ever done for a client who is freaking the fuck out is to show up, to love them, to say, hey, what's going on? Let's figure this out together. And to hold that sacred space. Because when I hold that sacred space, that's when miracles happen. But it's when our own stuff is coming up, when we think that we're bad or wrong or whatever, that we're not able to take a powerful stand for our clients because we're letting our own stuff get in the way. And thank God I had years of working as a hospital chaplain and a hospice chaplain to have so many experiences of family members and patients and doctors and hospital staff freaking out all the time, that it's very unusual for me now at this point to get triggered if there's someone in front of me who is in pain, who is hurting, who doesn't know what to do other than get upset, to really hold sacred space for them. So if you're listening to this and you're a coach and you're noticing that you've got clients who are bringing stuff to you that hits close to home, for me, things that hit close to home are clients that are struggling with receiving, clients freaking out about money. Like, that stuff has been in my lived experience in the past couple of years. In fact, I had a really pivotal conversation with one of my coaches about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. I was really struggling to receive myself in my business. And this coach was saying, okay, let's dig deeper. Let's see what's really behind that. And so we started to look at what was behind my fear, what was behind my frustration around wanting to bring on other team members to my business, but not feeling like I could receive that level of support, really feeling like I had to do everything else. And we did some beautiful healing around that at soul level. But the thing is, we do the healing and then the deeper level, the deeper layer gets uncovered. So 3-4 weeks ago, I hired a personal assistant, which for me was like wrestling myself to the ground to be able to receive someone physically coming into my home, doing dishes, going grocery shopping, running errands, cooking meals for me, helping me with stuff around the house. It felt so intimate. And it felt so uncomfortable to have that level of support that I realized there was even more healing for me to do around receiving support. And then of course, I do that healing, I do that deeper work, and lo and behold, I have clients coming out of the woodwork almost immediately struggling to receive more support. And I'm coaching them on how to receive more support. That's normal, right? Anytime we as coaches, as service providers, learn more about ourselves and healing, do healing on our own journey, the more our clients are going to bring those issues to us that are similar, because our clients are attracted to us because they know that we understand what it is that they've been going through. So I'm really curious to hear your feedback on this. Let me know if this resonates. Let me know if you've also, oh, Hannah says that's what happens to her too. Larry, thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for hearing that story about working in the ICU with you. So it was really lovely to just give myself full permission to have whatever learning that I need to have around showing up even more powerfully as a coach and trusting the process. And if my clients are going through stuff, it's not about me. It is about them. And Rashida saying, so true. Thanks for the healing today. Thank you for hearing that. Thank you for the beautiful work that you did today to show up powerfully in your own business. So I wanted to share this with you all because sometimes there's shame or frustration or irritation when our clients are bringing up things that feel really close to home, that feel like we don't know how to address them. And I encourage you always to start with your own triggers, what's coming up for you. And then keep asking questions. Keep asking what's possible for yourself, for your own healing journey, but also for your client. You know, keep asking, what do they need? How can I best support them? And take a really powerful stand for them and for what's possible. Because if you can do that, you will fucking blow it out of the park as a coach. I guarantee. And your clients will keep returning again and again, wanting to work with you because you're able to meet them where they are and not make it about you. All right, you all, I'd love to know how this topic landed with you. Many blessings. Bye for now.